Welcome back everyone. In this video we're going to be talking about how to create title blocks in AutoCAD. In the previous video I showed you guys how to move from model space to paper space, how to create a layout in the paper space, how to set up your page to a printer you would like to print your drawing, how to create multiple viewports with different scales. So we're going to review on all that, as well as we're going to prepare a basic title block, insert the logo of the company, create layouts for two different sheet sizes with the same title block. We're going to save what you have as a DWT file, as a drawing template file, so that you can reuse it in your future drawings. You can start off your drawings from a standard DWT file that contains your title block with the logo of the company, so it'll save you a lot of time. And then finally, we're gonna start off with what you have created as a DWT file and prepare a printout. Okay, so finally in this video you'll see that we're going to prepare in the same drawing file, we're going to prepare a layout with a page size of ansi-a or letter, 11 inch by 8.5 inch. Okay, also on the same drawing on a different layout we're going to have a different page size, ansi-c. The length is 22 inch and the height is 17 inch. Since we're going to be using the same drawing template, they both are going to share the same title block and of course the border. Okay, so let's go to AutoCAD and let's go ahead and click on new. Our standard would be ANSI and our units will be inch. So we're going to start off with acat.dwt and click on OK. I'm going to zoom out. There's nothing in the space and there's just one layer. We're going to go to layout 1. Okay. We're going to set layout 1 to ansi-a or letter, the same thing. And layout 2 to ansi-c size. Okay. You can right click on layout 1 and rename it. Let's call it ansi-a. Press enter, right click on layout 2, rename ansi-c, press enter. Okay, right now they have the same size. If you go back to model space and let's say you draw a circle there, you draw another circle, just like that. You go back to ansi-a, you're gonna see there start showing up. This is your viewport, as we talked about in the previous video. You can double click inside and zoom and zoom out and set up the scale, say 1:1. When you're done, double click out. Okay, it's going to show up on this layout as well. We're going to go ahead and set up the page and draw a border and title block for ansi-a. And then later we're going to do the same for ansi-c. Okay, so in this layout ansi-a, let's go to big A, print page setup. ansi-a is selected. Let's modify. We set up a page to a printer, so you need to select a printer. If you have installed a printer and that is connected to your computer, you can select it from the list. I don't have a printer connected, neither installed. So I'm gonna go ahead and select AutoCAD PDF high quality print. And for paper size, I'm gonna keep it to, let's see, full bleed A. As you see, there are different sizes you can select, right? Even ISO, architecture, and so forth. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and select this ansi-a 11 by 8.5. 8.5 inches. And the rest I'm going to keep the same, scale 1:1, make sure it's 1:1, and okay. And for ansi-c, I'm gonna select that. At this point, it seems I'm not going to be able to modify, so I need to accept ansi-a and click on close. Okay. So this is the printing area. As you see, it's shown with these hidden lines. They're not going to be printed. It just shows the area that will be printed on the printer that you selected. So you got to make sure your viewport is inside the printable area. I'm gonna click on ansi-c, right click, and we can go ahead and also modify. Well, we have changed the name, so let's go ahead to big A and print and paste it out. Okay, so for ansi-c, we're gonna modify it. We're gonna select the same printer, AutoCAD PDF, and we're gonna select ansi-c size. Alright, ansi-c 22:17. We're gonna keep the rest the same. Make sure your scale is 1:1, and orientation is landscape, and okay, and close. So again, this is your printing area shown by these hidden lines. You can go ahead and move your viewport, select it, press enter, move it somewhere here. We're gonna change that later. So let's go back to ansi-a, and we're gonna start drawing a border and a title block. Okay, so I'm gonna move this little further up, escape. Let's go ahead and create a layer for title block and the border. I'll click on new. We have talked about this in the past, so let's call it border underscore TB for title block. Change the color to kind of grayish. I'm gonna select this one. Yeah, okay. As far as the line width, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and change the line weight to 0.5, and also line weight for layer 0, where the actual objects will be located, 0.5. Okay. The only difference is the shade of the black color. Okay. And click on X out from there, change the layer to border title block. Let's go ahead and draw a rectangle. If you want to be very accurate, you can actually type the coordinates. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make sure I'm inside the printing area. Okay, and right there. Then I'm going to turn on the line weight. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and draw a rectangle for the title block. Different standards have different recommendation and requirements. For this, I'm gonna assume 4" by 1". So I'm gonna put @ sign there at the bottom, -4 along x-axis and 1 along y-axis. Okay. So next, I'm gonna try to break this down using modify break command, break at a point, so that I can draw lines where I need to draw them. Okay, so this is a rectangle now, and I grab this icon, break at a point. I click on the rectangle, then I click at the midpoint. If you do that, as you see, it's going to split the rectangle into 2 sections. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and split this part of the rectangle to 2 sections with the same command. Select that and then select the midpoint. I'm going to do the same thing. Select this and then select the midpoint. I'm gonna do the same thing. Select that, then select the midpoint right there. As you see right now, I have been able to split this into two separate, and then I'm going to split this as well. Modify, break, split. There's a perpendicular object snap showing up, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn that off. Perpendicular. Okay. So modify, break at a point, select that, and select the midpoint. So as you see right now, I've got that, I've got this, and I've got that. We can go ahead and draw certain lines right now. So from there, the midpoint, and press escape. Go ahead and draw another line from the endpoint of that, the midpoint of that. Center. Can go ahead and draw this. Since we have splitted these, it's very much accessible, as you see. You can go ahead and select the object snaps, just like that, just like this, and so forth. You see, it's much easier to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and trim. We have talked about majority of these commands, trim, and just select that and select that. We're gonna insert the logo here. Let's go ahead to, as you see, we have the title here, then we have drawing number there, and so we're gonna follow this as we move forward. We're gonna put the logo there and a text, confidential. Okay, let's go ahead. So in order to insert an image, so you're gonna go to insert and attach. We're gonna select the logo. Let's say logo of Tesla. You can specify the scale on the screen and specify the insertion point on the screen. And okay, don't worry if it's small or large. You can scale it for sure. You can go ahead and move. Select the object, press enter, select the base point, and try to locate it properly. We have talked about multi-line text. Multi-line, select this point and this point. Let's go ahead and type there confidential. You can select the text and reduce the height to, let's say, 0.08. And also you can justify to mid-center. Click outside, confidential. And for the rest, what we're gonna do, okay, so let me go ahead and see what we have here, so exactly we can follow this. All right, designed by, checked by, tolerances, and so forth. Okay. Tolerance, designed by, checked by, tolerances, and then, okay. We have these two spaces here. Okay. Sheet size and scale. So our title block is going to end up a little different than what we have in the sample, but that is fine. Go ahead and select multi-line text, and let's go ahead and select that area and say drawn by. Okay, select the text and change the height, say to 0.04. We can go ahead and move this down there. You can go ahead and copy. As you see, I'm using the command bar a lot. You can go ahead and do the same thing, copy there. You select that, press enter, you select the base point and move it somewhere there. You can double click and change the height, let's say to 0.06, and drawn by someone. You can say John Doe. You can go ahead and move this a little further to the left. We're gonna copy these two and base point there, insertion point there, insertion point here, and here. We might have to change these a little later. I'm gonna also copy there as well, drawn by. Let's double click here and change it to checked by. Let's say checked by Jerry. And then you can change this to tolerances. You can change this to actually we might end up changing this, so I'm gonna leave that for now. Let's change this to title, and you can change the height of this to, let's say, 0.085. Let's type Tesla T model concept model. Change that. 0.1. Drawing number. Let's say that's 200822. Yep. And of course, you can change that. For this area, we have scale. So there's a date we're gonna put there. Let's see. Okay. So spacing is not very important in this case. I'm just gonna go ahead and move. As you see, I'm using the command bar a lot, so move is the same thing. I just type here M, press enter, select the object, press enter, base point. And you can move it along X by pressing F8, so your ortho is on. So let's say that space is for date, and copy. And this is space, for scale, and then okay. Let's see what else we have. There's a sheet, scale, revision, and date. Okay. Can go ahead and copy. Say copy that from there to here to here to here. Escape. Just gonna do that slowly so you can follow me. I'm using again command bar a lot, but you can click on copy. From right to left, select your objects and press enter. select the base point right there, and insertion point here, here, and here. Escape. Can go ahead and double click. Let's call this rev. .02, let's say. Scale. Not sure what the scale will be, so I'm just gonna type 1:1, and let's type here date. We could be very accurate by actually making sure what the lengths of each of these spaces are by inserting the coordinates and drawing with lines, but you know, we have already talked about all that, so it's much faster for me to do it this way. So date, let's put 8/22/2020, and it's pretty much ready for now. We're gonna go ahead and before copying that, we're gonna select these inside lines and change the line width of these to a default, so they'll be thin lines. So the border for the title block will be thick and the inside will be thin. Okay. So as you did, change everything to default except the outside border. After that, you can simply select title block and border. You can press Control C on the keyboard. So you copy to the memory, go to ansi-c and press Control V to paste it here. Okay. I'll zoom in, make sure I'm pasting it close to the corner where I can print. Make sure you are in this layer, border title block. You can go ahead and draw a rectangle. I just typed REC for rectangle. I'll press select that corner and select somewhere here inside the printing area, and then I can delete that. Then you can go ahead, select the viewport, pick that corner, pick there, and pick this corner of the viewport and click on the border right there. Escape to deselect everything. Double click inside the viewport, and then you can press F7 to turn off the grid. And right now you can assign any scale you want. Let's say 2:1 scale. Okay. Double click outside of the viewport, and you can go ahead and change the scale. So that's your title block and border with two different sheet sizes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and let's actually adjust this one as well. Pick your viewport corners and extend it to the corners of your border and sheet size. So this is ansi-a, ansi-c. Double click inside, press F7 to turn off the grid, and you can assign a scale as 1:1. Double click out. This is ready. You can go back to model, delete those. Double click the middle key of the mouse. So you can go ahead and save this as a DWT file, drawing template file, anywhere you want. Drawing template. By standard, you gotta save it in the template folder that comes standard when you install AutoCAD. So we can name it anything you want. Tesla template example A, for instance, right? Or ansi-a ansi-c. Right, ansi-a, ansi-c. Drawing template and save. Save all layers reconciled. Okay. So next time you start a new file, you can actually pick your previously created DWT file or drawing template. You can pick that. So you can start off with your drawing template that has 2 different sheet sizes with your company's logo and title block. Okay. Next, in the previous video we talked about how to prepare a printout. Let's go ahead and redo that. Okay, so let's assume I had a drawing like this. Show proxy. You can select everything and make sure, of course, everything is by layer. And then Control C on the keyboard will copy this to the memory. Go back to your drawing template that you just opened. That's your drawing template. And then press Control V to paste the drawing. Select anywhere on the space and double click the middle key of the mouse and it'll zoom to extend and show everything. So as you see, you copied the drawing from another DWG file into this DWT file that you previously developed. Okay. Now, before doing anything, we're gonna go ahead and save this as DWG so it doesn't mess out our DWT file. Let's go ahead and save it as a DWG file, the latest version, let's say my Tesla. Save it, and then go to ansi-a, double click to the viewport. You can press the middle key of the mouse and it'll zoom extend. You can go ahead and select the view you want. You can go ahead and add a scale, a standard scale. Let's say I'm gonna click on custom, add 1:, let's assume shrinking 400 times. Okay, select 1 to 400. Alright, right now it's 1 to 400. Double click out, and this is ready to be printed. Same thing we can do in ansi-c. Double click inside the viewport. You can scroll the middle key of the mouse and you will see you can finally find the models that you have copied to this drawing. And then let's assume 1 to 400 is fine. Double click out and you can make this border no print. In order to do that, of course, you need a new layer. Let's make it no print and then change the color to red. Make sure this is selected and make sure the line weight is thin. When you select default, it will be thin. And go ahead and single click there on the viewport and make it no print. Okay, so that's no print. And the same thing on ansi-a. Pick that, change the layer to no print, and you're ready. Go ahead to big A and print. Just click on that. Single sheet is fine. As you see, we have already selected the printer, the sheet size, everything is ready except these 2 areas. Normally what to plot, I select window because I want to make sure my printout will be at the middle of the sheet. So when you do window, you select 2 corners of the border and then you select center. Make sure your scale is 1 to 1. This is from paper to printer. And you can preview it. So as you see, we don't print out the the viewport, the edges of the viewport. Everything is ready. You right click and plot. So this will be an ansi-a size sheet. So my Tesla in ansi-a. That's good. PDF. I'll print in PDF because I don't have a real printer. That's good. Control L will give you full size. That's what you needed, right? Let's go back. We're gonna repeat an ansi-c size sheet, big A, print, and single sheet is fine. Everything is ready except plot area. We're gonna pick window, select there, make sure you select the bottom right corner of the border, center the plot, change the scale. That's wrong, 1 inch to 1 foot, so that wouldn't work for us. We need to pick 1 to 1 from paper to printer. I always preview it. It's good. Right click, plot, and let's do my Tesla ansi-c. That's good. Save it. That's what we were looking for. All right. So to recap, we created a DWT file, a drawing template file with a company logo and a title block in 2 different sheet sizes. You can reuse it, reuse the DWT file that will have your title blocks and logos in your future drawings. And we have scaled the drawing to a standard scale. Okay. You could go ahead and modify the scale, the title, and so forth, so they are already available for you. I hope this video was useful for you. To support this channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you.